This is the MERN stack part 3 video. So as you can notice that if you will type here the only domain name, then you can notice that you are getting this page. If user is logged out, then user will get this type of page. Okay, so based on the user authentication, you are showing the page or component domain, root domain. So how you can achieve this type of functionality? Let's talk about these things. So this is the basically a code in the app.js. You can notice that if route will be like that, it means root domain, then the component home component will be rendered. Okay, let's go to the home component and try to understand what is written there. In the home component, through the Redux, this is the object state, through the this is the global to managing the state. It is very important, sometimes it's very useful to use Redux. So from there you got information that user is login or not. If user is login, then return this one, means this code, otherwise you return this one. It is very simple. Like if you will here you can notice that user is not logged in. It means here the page will be look like in this way: welcome to DTR login sign up, like that. So you can notice here the login sign up you are getting because user is not logged in. In this props login, they don't have the information that user is logged in. But if user is login, if we'll click here the login and then submit, then here this component is appeared. This is not a this is the one type of component you can notice. So this component basically is a user model. So user model you are getting, but where you can notice welcome, admin, email, like that. Why it is? Because you have written in this way. You can notice that you use the welcome, and then however I have got this username and the email from the local storage. Okay, if you will console log, let's console log this props. Okay, so this is the basically a home page. It's not home page, it's like this one. Then here let's click here. You can notice that you got an email ID and you got a name. So you can also instead of writing this, you can also use the props to do these things. Okay, so props, since this is a global object, managing object, passing the data from one component to another component, if there is no relation between them, and if you want to pass the data, the Redux and the global state will be very useful in this case. Okay, so props dot, if you will do a name, suppose this one, name, control S, you can notice that again you got admin because you got information in the props. So it's no need to write a local storage here. Okay, so here you can do in this way, email, and you can also do an email. Why you got all this information? Because here in the props, because you have used here the Redux. So you can notice that I have used here a Redux. Okay, so through this Redux, since this is the global object, and in this global state, in the Redux, we have already provided the detail of the user after the login. So that's why you can collect from there as well. Okay, so that's why it is like that. It will still work. You can see it is working perfectly fine. Okay, so and here we have called here the user model. It means if you will click here this icon, this edit icon, then you can notice one pop-up is opened, and the name is appeared already, email is appeared, and the current password. If you want to change the name or email anything, you have to provide the current password. You can provide here and you can submit, then this will be saved. For example, if I will do admin1 and if I will click here the submit, user successfully updated, it means you can notice that if I will go task. Okay, so since user is updated but this information is not saved at the global state in the Redux, that's why it is not showing here the latest name. Okay, otherwise if you log in and then again if you visit, then you can notice here the admin1. So this is the very basic example, that's why I am going to talk about how you can manage all these things. So in this way you can change the name or the email ID, and if you want to change the password, then you need to click here the toggle, and this new password you need to provide what password you want to change, so you can change as well. So this is the very basic example. Let's talk about this pop-up model so that you can understand the better way. Sometimes it is useful. This is like a story I am telling, and for the beginner they will understand the better way. So this is the user model.js. Now here you can notice that this is the state. We have defined here the state. This is the class component. So don't confuse about the class component as a functional component. Class component will provide you the better, this will provide you the better and the good, functionality and a better approach to lots of other functionality to manage the component. So most of the time, if there will be any little complication of the component, make sure that use the class component. Otherwise you can also use the functional component. So class component will provide you the better control, so it will be you can use here. So you can notice that in the state, ID, name, email, password, current password, password confirmation. So these are the state, and based on the condition we will set this state value. In the React, make sure that whenever state value will change, the re-rendering will be happen, render will be called and re-rendered, and after comparison with the virtual or real DOM, the right element will get updated. Okay, this is the basic fundamental thing. So this is basically a form and notification. As you can also notice that here if you will log in, suppose if I am logged out and log in, then here Hari, you are logged in. Why it is? Because we have used another third-party library, and that library is, you can need notification container, notification manager. So React notification library I have used and utilized, that's why it is coming. Okay, so this is a basic form, and in the on submit you are calling a method handle form, but in on change method you are setting the value of the object like name, you can see here the email and current password like that, and want to change password, this also have information. In the on change you are calling a handle toggle input. So let's see all these things. In the handle toggle input you are getting a E, and through E target checked, it means you are getting that this checkbox, this toggle is checked or not, this toggle is checked or not. Based on that the value is updating. Okay, if it is checked, then you can make it empty password and confirm password. So each time when they will make it check or uncheck, it will be whatever you will provide here. If you will do here check or uncheck, the value will be empty, because it will be better. After that they will provide a new password. Okay, and then handle input, it means that e.target.name, e.target.value, it means you are getting a value, a name, and make sure that name should be exactly same as the state object. So this state object have a name is this key is name, and the value is their value, and the key is email, like that. So you make sure that the name should be very similar and the same. Name should be name, email should be email. If you will do email 1 here, then you also need to do here the email 1. Why? If you will not do, then this will not work. Means since you are changing an e.target.name, and this name and the state name and the input element name both are the same, that's why it is working. So e.target.name and e.target.value, it means in the name is very similar to the state value. In the state value you are setting a latest value. Okay, so that's why it is working. Sometimes for the beginner this is a lots of issue to set a state. So in this way you can set a state in onChange method, and this one is a toggle, and another one is for a submit form. So after a submitting form, you have to use here the API call. Means you will call the API so that you will able to change the password and change the name, all this stuff. So little validation is available. You can see that if user this dot state dot current password is null, means current password cannot be null, because if you will suppose if click here, and if I will click here the submit, then since all these things is already value is already there, if I will click here and click here a submit, then okay, for example this one, if you will click here, then you can notice that your password not matched, something like that. You got this type of thing. Why? Because you have written certain condition, notification dot warning. You will get all this information from this documentation, notification manager documentation. We have used this third-party library to manage these things. Please enter current password, like that. We have utilized some of the if-else condition, is nothing big, and for the beginner I created so that you guys can understand. Okay, and then XCS. We have used the XCS library. XCS library, if you can also use a page, but XCS library again will provide a better control, and there will be lots of variable you can utilize. So you can use the XCS here. XCS that put, because we want to update the values, that's why I use the put method, and this is the API endpoint and the value or data, whatever data you want to post, and after the result, then you will get a result. So whatever result you are getting, you are also setting this to the local storage and notification manager. However, one thing is missing here. If you will do like this, if you are updating the user data, it means that you also need to update the global state. Means in the Redux, whatever you have provided, you also need to update it, which is missing. I will talk about in the detail in another video. This is the then, and another one is the catch. If there will be any issue in the then the catch block will be execute. So make sure, sometimes you will see that you are getting a result, but still you are catch block is calling. Why it is like that? The main funda is that for the beginner, sometimes this is the basic or silly confusion can come in the mind. If any problem will happen in this block, in this particular block, even if the result you are getting a correct, but if any problem will happen in this then block, then you will, the catch block will execute. Whatever written in the catch block will be execute. So I hope that you understand about this thing. So in this particular video you have learned how to call API. So this is a very basic to call API. It is not a big deal. Just you need to use the XCS and then provide the user data, and sometimes need to update the header So you can also update the header. I will talk about in the another video when time required. Like for the authentication process, JWT authentication process, if user will be logged in, then they will get a token, and for using any of the protected resource, they need to use this token and provide and pass the token to the backend. Now, if user will provide that token and backend will verify the token first, then they will proceed with their request. Okay, so this is the basic process of the authentication, but here it is not like that. That's why here it should be, because if user is logged in, then after that if they will use any of the protected resource, then they need to provide the token to verify to the backend. So in this case you can set the header, and the header you can set that particular token. Okay, so I will talk in a detail why I am not making, because I am trying to make it very simple so that the beginner can able to understand. Otherwise, if you don't know how to do that, and if you are still watching my video, then definitely you can contact me on the WhatsApp. I will talk about, and I will provide you the the better approach and how to do that and all this stuff. So you can communicate through the WhatsApp, because in the comment section it is not a scope to post the image or the code. That's why. Okay, so this is all about this forms. This is the user update, how you can update the user. So in the next video I will talk about the task. This task, you can notice that this is the dynamic input field is generating. If you click here the plus button, then input row is generating, and suppose if we'll do here the RRR, and if we'll delete this one, then that particular row is deleting. It means everything is working correctly. Sometimes for the beginner have a issue that if they are trying to delete this one, but only last row is deleting. So all these things I will talk about in detail in the previous video about this form, and I will try to complete this one so that you can move for the advanced level projects. So thank you